Have you ever met someone where your first impression is this guy is so perfect, and then on the second meet, you can barely sit beside them? Because that happened to me when I was 18. At first, this guy looked like every gay guy's dream: pickup truck, designer clothes, confident, masculine. By the second meet, he was dragging me around Tesco doing his mum's food shopping, smelling like a damp rainforest. Welcome to another episode of Gay Talk. Welcome to Gay Talk. Yes. So back when I was 18 years old, there was this one night where I was in a waiting room and there was absolutely nothing to do. I was bored out of my mind and I thought, do you know what? I've not been on Grindr in a while. I'm opening it up and I'm going to browse. So as I opened up Grindr, I noticed that this person had been viewing my profile so many times. And naturally I thought, they must like me. This person didn't have a profile picture of themselves on their profile. It was a picture of a boat. Now, me, I like masculine men, confident men, adventurous men. So when I seen the boat as his profile picture, I knew that I had to get to know this guy. Now, because this guy didn't have a profile picture of himself, in my opinion, it was a bit of a risk. If I message this guy and I ask for a face picture, is he going to give me one? And if he does give me one, is he going to be my type or is he not going to be my type? Because I'm the type of person that would feel insanely guilty if I'd message someone, expressing my interest, got the face picture, then sorry, you're not my type. I would just feel like a complete idiot. But his profile picture has me curious. I want to know more about this guy. His profile seems mysterious and I like that. So I've got two decisions here to make. Do I message him or do I not message him? And guess what? I messaged him. From the picture of the boat on his profile, I just kind of thought, this guy must be adventurous. This guy must like nature. He must be quite active. So I'm going to take the plunge and just hope that he is my style of guy. I'm not even joking. He messaged me back in less than 2 minutes and we started chatting. As we're starting to get to know each other, I casually ask him, have you got a face picture to hand? And instantly he says, yeah, I'll send you a face picture. I asked him why he didn't have one on his profile, as I was just curious. Like I say, I like the mystery around it and I was a bit curious. And he tells me that he's bisexual and he lives further up the Highlands than where I am and he's scared of being judged. Which, in my opinion, is a very valid reason for not having a profile picture. This guy came across so confident, very well spoken, very well mannered, and do you know what? All ticks in my book. Now, obviously, I had spoken to a few different guys on Grindr before I bumped into this guy, and to be honest with you, I felt this guy was a rarity. Like I said, very well spoken, very well mannered, and very, very confident. He was definitely given masculine vibes. And do you know what? At that moment in time, just even speaking on Grindr, I felt like something was going to come out of this. Do you know what I mean? I felt like this wasn't just going to be a hookup. So when he sends me his face picture on Grindr, I'm instantly taken back. This guy is handsome, honestly, handsome, drop dead gorgeous, in my opinion, right? He had clearly tartaned himself up to look beautiful for his Grindr profile picture. This guy wasn't your average slim guy that people tend to go for these days. He had a bit of meat around his face and he had a bit of a build. Do you know what I mean? But he had, when he smiled in his picture, he had these little smile pimples here, if that makes sense. Is it pimples or creases? I don't know what you call them, but the little cute things here when you smile. And his facial features were just fantastic. He had rosy red cheeks. It was honestly, you can't describe it enough. He was drop dead stunning, right? Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, my first thoughts are, I want to meet this guy. So guess what? We start arranging to meet. So I won't bore you with the whole chat log of arranging our meet, but we agreed that he was going to pick me up from my flat. And to be honest, I was a bit nervous and I just remember standing outside thinking, what the fuck am I doing? So as it gets closer to us meeting, I start getting a bit more weary. I'm a bit cautious. I'm very nervous. I've got butterflies on my stomach and I just think to myself, I'm going to go down the stairs now. I'm going to go and hide around the corner and I'm going to watch him pull up, make sure it's only him in the car, make sure he looks like he does on his Grindr picture that he sent me, and just, make sure that all those things check out before I jump in his car. So I'm undercover and I'm covert in my little hiding spot. And Just as I get to the hiding spot, I see a black pickup truck pull in, and it's him. He's smiling, he looks confident, he pulls up, he parks head on with a bush, and I'm starting to think, oh no, I want to back out here. This guy is absolutely hot. Like all these last minute nerve things you get, it'd be easier to go back into the house and meet this guy and all those different thoughts. But I didn't do any of that, and I walked up to the car. And as I'm walking up to the car, I've got goosebumps, my heart's beating like 1,000 times a minute. My every footstep I take is so heavy. I don't know what to do. Do I just open the door? Do I knock on the door? I don't know what he's going to say when I get in the car. All these different things are running through my head. So I walk up and I think the politest thing to do is chap on the window and then open the door and jump in. Now, I shouldn't overthink things like that, but I do. I don't know if any of you guys do either when you meet someone. Leave them in the comment section below if you do. Maybe make me feel a bit more normal, I guess. So anyway, I climb on up into his pickup truck and he just says, "You all right?" And I say, "Yeah, just a bit nervous," and all that stuff. Now, by this point, we don't know where we're going. We know we're hooking up. We just don't know where we're going to hook up. So we hadn't planned all those details. We'd only planned him picking me up and then we were just going to judge it as we were out and about, I guess. So he starts to pull off from my house and I'm that nervous. I can't look at him. I just think that he's so good looking. He could do way better than me. And I felt like if I was looking at him, it would put him off. So I don't know why I felt that way, but I was looking out the window. As I'm looking out the window, this guy must have been able to tell exactly how nervous and shy I was. He instantly took control of the situation. He told me that I was good looking. He wouldn't have met me if I wasn't. He says, "Do you think I would have let you in my car if you weren't what I was looking for?" And he just took complete control and put my nerves at ease. I was still a bit nervous, butterflies in my stomach. I think he could still tell that I was nervous after he had sort of taken control of the situation. So it was at that point I kind of looked across at him and saw that he was wearing these really hot black trackies, a nice grey top with a chain on. And I looked at his face and I honestly fell. I was like, "You are so handsome." And at that moment in time, he took my right hand and placed it on his knee. And at that point, I think most of my nerves just went, and I just felt like more excitement than nerves, if that makes sense. I also felt loved and wanted. The way that he took control of the situation when he could tell how nervous and shy I was, and the words that he used to reassure me, I don't think I've ever felt that loved or wanted in my whole life. So, anyway, as soon as he knows that he's reassured me that he definitely likes me, he starts driving to find somewhere for this hookup to take place. Now, we didn't go anywhere romantic by any means. I was actually quite shocked where he pulled up to have this meet. Let's just say we didn't leave the truck and we pulled up to an industrial site. That's all I'm going to say. We did the deed and that was it. It was a fantastic first meet and I was left speechless. And at the end of the day, we exchanged Snapchats because we got along that well. The meet went well. We were thinking of future meetups, I guess. So after the meet's done, the guy drives me back to my house and asks me if I had a good meet. Now, obviously, I had a fantastic meet and I told him this. When I told him this, he smiled, and those cute face dimples that he has when he smiles came out, and his cheeks went rosy red, and I was honestly back in paradise. Do you know what I mean? After that, he goes home. I'm in my house, and we're already Snapchatting, trying to plan another meeting. Like it was that good that within 2 hours, we're sitting there trying to plan a second meet for the week after. So now I've met this guy once already. I know his clothing style. I know that he takes care of himself. I know that he's confident. He's got good personal hygiene, all that stuff. So for me, I'm not worrying as much as I know that that's what I'm expecting with this guy. As his car pulls up, I start getting so excited. I know what to expect now. I'm not nervous. Stomach's not, in knots or got butterflies, and I'm just looking forward to the night ahead. Anyway, I walk on over to his pickup truck and I get inside. I'm instantly full of disappointment and I'm thinking, what's going on here? Firstly, his energy levels were completely different. Like I said on the first meet, he was so outgoing, so well spoken, so confident. And on this meet, he didn't seem confident, he wasn't well spoken, and it just seemed like he didn't care. It just went back to feeling like, oh, this is just a hookup. Like there was nothing there energy level wise. On the first meet, I loved it because his energy was fantastic. It felt like being with someone my age. Bearing in mind, this was back when I was 17, 18, and he was 27. So there was something about his energy levels that I loved. And on the second meet, that wasn't there. On the first meet, he looked very well groomed. It looked like he took care of himself. His appearance was absolutely fantastic. On the second meet, he made no effort whatsoever. His hair was messy. It was greasy. He had stubble all over himself. It was lack of care. His clothing, they were dirty, stains all over it. There was no care at all of how he came to the second meet. On the second meet as well, he was also acting differently. On the first meet, he was outgoing, he was making sure I was okay. We were having conversations about life. It was fantastic. On the second meet, we're having absolutely no conversation. It's like talking to a brick wall. And it was like that the whole way until where we went to do the deed. On the way to the deed location, I started smelling this really, really strong odor. I felt like it could just be manure coming from a field, so I kind of just ignored it and just started focusing on the meat and what we were going to be doing when we get to the deed location. We pull up at the place where we're going to do the deed, and let's just say, when things started happening, I realized where the smell was coming from. At that point, I instantly was put off, and I decided that the meat was going to end there. Clearly, personal hygiene wasn't a priority, and clearly, this guy came looking like a model the first time and just felt like because we had got on so well that he could just come looking like something from a horror movie and smelling like he came from a horror movie. Now, because I told him that we were no longer doing the deed, he went into a bit of a strop and he turned around and says, "Oh, well, you can walk home then. I've got to go and do my mum's food shopping for her." And I'm sitting there like, you what? Like, on both meets, you've agreed to pick me up and drop me off. That's the reason I've decided to go 4 miles away from home with you. And because I'm telling you that I no longer want to do it with you because of your personal hygiene, you're now going to make me walk 4 miles back home. I was a bit put off at that. And it went from him being like a model guy to being someone that just genuinely deep down didn't care. It was very disturbing to me because I looked at this guy and I thought, this guy is a model. I could see myself being with this guy. It was like love at first sight. And then you go on to realize after a second meet that that person underneath that image isn't who you think they are. So anyway, when I confronted him and says that he told me on the text that he was going to pick me up and drop me off from home, he eventually agreed that he would drop me back off, but only when he's done what he needs to do, aka his mum's food shop. So here's me holding his basket while he's on the phone to his mum asking what bread she wants. Now imagine that. You're on a date slash a hookup and you're being dragged around the shops. Absolutely hilarious, and you couldn't make it up. Anyway, after the meet, you could tell that there was something up and he asked what it was. And I was just honest with him and told him that his personal hygiene was absolutely disgusting that day and it put me off big time. Now, me and this guy still talk to this day. I don't hold it against him. He genuinely wasn't going through a tough time at this time. He just didn't want to put the effort in. He admitted that to me, right? So don't come for me in the comment section saying that he was going through a mental health crisis or stuff like that. He wasn't, right? So yeah, please don't come for me. I think the lesson from that meetup was first impressions can definitely fool you. Someone can look perfect for one night, but when you actually get to know them properly, the illusion disappears fast. So please, guys, please take note. Take care of your personal hygiene. And when you go to meets, just be your true authentic self, because if you're not your true authentic self and you go for a second meet, then that person's going to realize and it's just going to put them off. I'd like to take a moment just to thank each and every single one of you for your support to my channel. Truly means the world to me. If you are new here, please like, please subscribe, and definitely comment below. I engage with absolutely every single one of you in the comment section. So whether that be video ideas, questions, anything, comment them below. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.